What inspires a collector to return a long-lost 65-year-old letter to the rightful heirs who live on the other side of the world? Join us as we delve into the mystery and learn the motivation. Rex Butler says he's just a collector.
Found this box, and like most things that we buy, took it home and put it in the garage.
But when this North Carolina man finally got around to inspecting a box of old photos he bought at an antique store, what he found amazed him.
Not only are there letters from a Marine to his son, in the last couple that I opened up, there are items from Iwo Jima.
Rex felt compelled to follow another track, finding the family of the American soldier and returning the letters, which he did.
Another member of Collectors Weekly does something that I never would have thought of. He goes on Facebook and finds a name, the last name of the Marine, and finds a relative.
But there was something else. A letter written in Japanese, a letter whose trek across the globe was about to begin the final leg of a 65-year journey. It was revealed to be a letter from a Japanese mother to her son, who was killed at the Battle of Iwo Jima. Seeing what it meant to the American family, he turned his attention to this Japanese letter, and with the same determination, set out to track down the descendants and return the letter.
The son of the Marine actually comes up with a partial translation of the letter. He gives me a name, the Hattori family, and he gives me a city, Kisarazu.
Upon learning that Oceanside, California is a sister city of Kisarazu, Rex called City Hall and was connected with Vicky Prosser, who, along with Jim Schroeder, helped manage the sister city program for Oceanside. And after a few phone calls and more than a little digging, Vicky called with the good news. Motoki Hattori, the great-nephew of the Japanese soldier, had been found and would be willing to come to Oceanside from Japan to meet with Rex for the return of the letter to the Hattori family. At a dinner held at the El Camino Country Club in Oceanside, Rex was able to realize his dream of reuniting the letter with whom he termed the rightful owners. During a very moving ceremony, the letter was handed over to great-nephew Motoki Hattori, who, through an interpreter, later talked about the significance for him and his family, and for Japanese families in general.
It's just something very special, things for them, and by having those coming back to him, his family, even though he lost his great uncle at the war, and now they can accept his death. Also, this, as a family member, his life finally has become complete as with them.
A great stroke of luck was the fact that the Hattori's grandfather had written a book about the family and their history during the war, which proved essential to finding the family.
His grandfather actually went to Iwo Jima, tried to look for any remains of his brother. He could not find it. In his book, he mentioned about that was a very sad thing. But now, because the letter finally came out, they cannot be any happier than now.
I want to speak more with you. Last week, I'm happy I had such a nice time here. Thank you.
Coincidentally, the Kisarazu International Friendship Association was also sponsoring an exchange student trip for Oceanside in the same week. To thank their American hosts, the Kisarazu students entertained the crowd singing Japanese songs and American standards, followed by a demonstration of the Japanese martial art Aikido and the Yasai Mosai, sort of a Japanese version of a conga line that everyone participates in during an annual street festival in Kisarazu. One can wonder about the likelihood of someone finding the Hattori letter and being willing to take the time to find the family, let alone return the letter. So I asked Rex why this was so important to him.
I'm adopted. I grew up in a children's home in Kentucky. I have one letter from my biological father, so I know what a letter can mean. I did not know exactly what it means to a Japanese family, which is even more than it might mean to me.
The return of the Hattori letter to the family helps to tie up loose ends of a story left incomplete many decades ago. But it also opens another chapter in these two countries' cultural exchange on a much happier note this time around.
We'll go back with just some incredible friends, international friends.
This is Peter Boncher for KOCT.